100%, I could have topped myself at that time. If it wasn't for the fact that I had a child, I got sued for £100,000.
There's the thumbnail.
If you just go for something with everything that you've got, you'll already be ahead of 80% of the people that are cautious. I can't talk about that. I don't want to come on here and just start bubbling because that will make me cry. That was horrible, mate. That was, yeah. This is a decade ago now, so I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is on
Think you're good.
But hopefully I've got away with it.
It's like I've never really had a bond with my mum. I could walk past my mum in the street and it'd be all right. That'd be
Really? This is such a revealing and honest thing, but the first house I ever painted,
scumbags, mate.
Honestly, when I got that bill through, I thought...
Give us some Spanish.
Todo a la vaca de vano.
Like a tenelita.
Por favor.
Oh, we need to do like a real cheesy advert. Hold on, but I get up Jade Legends. Sunday 6 p.m.
Donde está la red de leche?
If you want to, your camera is literally here. If you want to do a little piece of camera in Spanish. And then we'll just dub some...
El guapo, la todo, la
Okay,
telito.
yeah. So if I say...
Faro on board.
Farrow and turd.
Faro on balls.
That's your angle there, and that's what you'd be working with.
Ooh. Okay, you ready?
Move that. Grab that
Spanish
bottle out.
with Foxy.
Hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Foxy. Trade Legends. Is that good?
That needs to intro it every time. Right then, Mark.
Wicked.
Where you been for 10 weeks? We worked it out. No, 10 episodes you worked out, didn't we? Me and you haven't
longer
done...
than 10
What, you
weeks,
two haven't done an episode?
we haven't done an episode for 10.
Oh, that's it.
We've got you
Did
tonight.
you make a special effort just to come and see me?
I did.
You thought, this one's going to
No,
get bloody views. This one, like, I'm coming in for this.
I'm here for the content.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've had a bad back, so you did a load.
Bad back.
Then you've been on your hollybobs because you're always on holiday.
Yeah.
You have got a bit of a talent, yeah.
Yeah, it's fading. I need another one.
Okay, you don't get that sorted.
And then I've done a few more while you've been off.
Did you have a child as well?
And then I've had a child.
Yeah. Don't forget.
And then,
That old excuse,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah. Anything to get out of a podcast. Jazz, let's have a child.
well, to be fair, I'd rather be in here sometimes.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
But yeah, it's been 10 episodes, isn't it? So probably 3 months, something like that.
And you made the effort to come
probably
out
longer
just
than
because
that,
I'm
Oh,
here.
it probably is, yeah.
Because if you think we release one every week now, but they're 6 weeks in advance, are they?
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Good to see you,
So,
Al.
yeah. Nice to see you as well, mate.
Hello, boys.
We got Foxy on.
So last time you were
Foxy.
installer, was it?
Yeah, last time I saw you was installer, wasn't it?
So installer. So tonight we've got a brand new guest, Foxy, aka is it Devos or Devos?
Foxy. Devos.
Devos.
And it's Dutch actually, not Spanish, believe it or
Wow.
not. I know, I should have learned Dutch. But it means the fox. So my name is literally Foxy the Fox.
What's that song?
Christian
It's
the
like
Fox.
I am the what is that?
Foxy. Foxy lady.
Yeah, that's been my intro music. Brilliant.
What does because isn't that Dutch?
I
Is
don't know.
it? Oh, it's some Euro pop, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Some cheesy Euro pop.
That'd be. What does the fox say? I'm pretty sure it's just some English dub thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to welcome you on. Big guns,
Yeah.
big personality. It's good to be back in the hot seat with you, Mark. 'Cause I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
been a
you for
while.
ages. I feel like I've lost a leg, and now it's been
The leg's back, mate. The
Yeah.
leg's back.
the fake leg's been put back on. So what we normally do on the show is we get you guys on to
Yeah.
sort of talk about how you got into the trade.
Okay, I had absolutely no idea of the format. I don't think I've watched the full episode.
Yeah, you
And
have. You
that's
watched
only
all of them.
because- That's only because I love the clips.
You've learned Spanish
I
in
watched-
8 hours, but
I
you haven't
watched-
learned
I
Trade
watched-
Legends.
I don't even know where to find them. Is it what's on? What's on? Just a little plug. Where can you find this?
Spotify, YouTube, and other all good
platforms.
podcast platforms.
Yeah, see, I only watch the clips on Instagram, and I'm addicted to the clips on Instagram. They're great. They're really
Good
funny.
recovery, that was.
Yeah, but it's like
He's good, isn't he?
I listen to my little sphere of podcasts, and to get into my new sphere of podcasts, I've got to see some real magic.
What's
So
the go-to
hopefully this
podcast
will be
that you're listening to at the minute?
JRE. JRE is always a solid favourite.
What's
Joe
that?
Rogan. Joe
Joe
Rogan
Rogan.
Experience. Yeah. So I always watch that.
But his are like really long, ain't they?
Yeah, but do you know what?
find
And
them-
this would be a disrespect to you. I don't really listen. So I'll put it on while I'm decorating, and it's more like a background noise thing.
So,
I
do
just
you
have
not
it
listen
on.
to music or radio or anything?
Never.
I don't either.
But do you know why? It's because I've listened to every single song ever made, because I've got 8 hours solid every day just to listen to music.
And to learn hobbies.
So I've listened to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't listen to radio. I just
If you
listen
were
podcasts.
to, okay, here's a question for you. If you were to listen to music, who's your jam?
Oh God, such a deep, deviling question. Oh God, who do I listen to?
What's your go-to album?
To be honest,
If somebody had to
my-
do your life soundtrack,
my
what's your
go-to
song?
album would be Motley Crue.
Didn't see that
The
coming.
Kickstart My Heart.
Didn't see Motley Crue coming.
Yeah. But I like rap, Eminem, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a first date. That's what my fucking favourite. What's your favourite colour?
What's your name? What's your
Yeah.
sign?
You moving to me or am I moving to you?
Yeah. I'm going to get a second date. We were just talking about something before we started. Do you want me to continue that story?
Hobbies we were talking about, weren't we?
Yeah, we were talking about hobbies.
Well, give us a bit of backstory.
Okay, so-
how you came to get into trades, because some people go, my dad was a painter decorator. And
Yeah,
I
so
wanted to be a
that's not my story at all. Mine, I was actually a chef before I was a decorator. And I was a head chef, actually.
What's your signature?
What signature is?
My signature dish,
Signature.
my signature
Still can't
dish
say it.
is probably pan roast duck with dolphin wild potatoes, turned root vegetables, mint jelly, and a red wine jus.
Jeez, you had me a duck.
Yeah,
You had me a
big
duck.
fan of
Nice.
duck. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to blow my nose again. Hay fever. It is actually hay fever as well. It's not even. I'm not even being silly.
You know, when he was
Not
learning
even joking
Spanish,
around.
it was actually Colombian.
I learned it flying.
That's why
I learned it flying in.
When I was in the Himalayas of Peru.
I can deal with my hombres in the homeland. Yeah, so I started as a chef, and around the time that I realised I was going to have my first child, I was like, I can't do this job.
It's long hours.
Yeah, mate.
It's
It was
intense,
like
isn't it? Massively intense.
it was like 70-hour weeks that I was putting in, and because I was, what should we say, young head chef. I mean, I was a head chef when I was 18. The amount of work, extra work I had to do to make up for the lack of experience. Like the average age for a head chef's like what, 40?
Right.
Something like that. So I was doing that job, but with only the cooking knowledge, none of the organisation skills, the planning skills, stuff like that. So I was really struggling. So I was having to put in these ridiculous working weeks just to keep my job. Then when I knew my first child was on the way, I was like, I'm gonna have to do something else.
How old are you at this point?
About to turn 19, I think. So I was I was younger than 20.
That's a big commitment, isn't it? 19.
Yeah.
Thinking,
You want to be out partying, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
well,
where was that? Was that in like a hotel or a restaurant or what?
So, restaurant, a 2-rosette restaurant as well, a nice restaurant. We did a la carte and like high-end fine dining, that sort of
if
thing.
he's doing duck with doping water,
Yeah.
it's no
It
harm.
did-
to
we-
it.
It's not KFC, is it?
I'm from the East Midlands, so like there's a lot of like gastro pubs there, but there is like a calling for nice food. Do you know what I mean? Like good food, but done really well.
Like a country gastro.
Yeah. So like pie and chips and stuff,
Yeah.
but a nice pie and chips, things like that. But then we had like the fancier menus and things. But anyway, to get on to how I got into decorating, my dad owns a construction business, and I'd always sort of been around construction, but I don't think I wanted to like be Tim DeVos's son because I saw that growing up. My dad was always Wick's son. Even till he was like 40, it was always Wick's boy.
Label.
He's like a 40-year-old man owning this business that's turning over millions of pounds a year, and he's Wick's old boy. So I think I didn't want that, and that's why I moved into chefing. But over the years of going to work with him in the summer holidays and stuff like that, I did pick up bits of certain trades, and I was like, I think I could probably just do decorating. So on the weekends of my job, before I quit, I would just go out. Mate, this is such a revealing and honest thing, but the first house I ever painted, I'd never painted a house before. I just turned up to this quote.
This person's going to watch this and be like,
Honestly,
oh, I thought that was on the piss.
I mean, this is a decade. This is a decade ago now, so I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is on on bad decorating. But hopefully, I've got away with it. But I turned up to this house and I just blagged it. I've always been very good at like, you know,
he sounds like Nathan.
chatting,
Nathan
you know, swinging a line, yeah.
But there's got to be,
here, I?
But there's got to be some sort of knowledge going into that. You're not going completely blind.
Well, I
what
knew
you picked up through your old man.
Yeah, and
He knew
also
what a paintbrush was.
and also as well, I had him on the end of the phone. Like any time I had a problem with decorating, my dad was just this fountain of knowledge that could like point me in the right direction. So I blagged this first job, and did it. It was a 2 up, 2 down sort of flat thing. And me and my mate did the whole thing in 2 days on one weekend, like walls, ceilings, woodwork, everything. We did 2 14-hour shifts, and we got paid 450 quid for it. Wow. 450, that's what I quoted. I mean, now that'd be like 2.5 grand at least, like you know, something like that. And it took a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Because that's one thing actually when most trades start out, you don't know how to charge. Job. No one shows you, do they?
No. It's not.
I mean, this is not helping my case for not being a cowboy, because everybody's like constantly, he's a cowboy, he is. But I've been doing it a decade now. Like, I think whatever you can learn from.
But what advice would you give to people? Because the other thing is as well, I see a lot of people on social media, they'll always go, they'll do a job and they say, how much? And the variance that you see in the answers, because people put up the answers and you get somebody that goes, I would have done that for 200 quid. And there's somebody who's like, £800.
I find it massively geographical as well. It's around the country.
Oh god, yeah.
Huge
yeah. I mean, I
difference.
did a job in Chelsea. It was just a standard big apartment. It was 10 grand. It would have been 2 grand here.
Yeah.
But because you got to get parking, that's £900 a week. It's right in the centre of Kensington. It's expensive. Like even the food there, my food bill was like 50 quid a day because you can't buy lunch.
Eating duck
cheap.
again, wasn't he?
Everything, yeah.
Duck aileron.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was eating in the Ritz, but no, it's just that's what it is.
So you leave chefing then. You've got a child on the way, and then you get into decorating almost on the blag.
Completely on the blag, really.
And then when does
no qualifications?
So when does it twig for you then, where you go, actually, I could make a living out of this?
Straight away, I did it. Everything I've done, I think my premise in life is if you just go for something with everything that you've got, you'll already be ahead of 80% of the people that are cautious. So like, even if me and you, if you had 10 times the qualifications than me, the fact that I'm willing to go to any length to achieve it.
Such an ADHD analogy.
Do you know what I mean? And like that, and that's been my attitude towards everything that I've done. If you can't beat me, even if you know more than me, you can't beat me if I'm giving maximum effort. So like, I would get home from decorating and I would be making flyers, I'd be making business cards, I'd be creating my website, and I'd get up in the morning before I went to work, I would hand out 500 business cards and then go and do my job. And I was night and day, I was constantly on. My customers could ring me at 3 o'clock in the morning and I'd go, hello, how you doing? Foxy Painting and Decorating. Like I was always
I'm
available.
Try that tonight.
Evenings, weekends, everything.
Piss off, Al.
I never ever like stopped. I was always working until I got to the point where I was like, oh shit, I've got this cachet of customers now. I don't even need to like get more work. Yeah. I've never used like these procurement sites or
like
things like
yeah.
I've never needed because you can go out into your local community, and I would knock on people's doors and I'd just be like, hi, Christian, Fox's Painting and Decorating. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm very well.
Yeah, do it.
Is there you know,
I hope you're getting this straight down the camera.
It's just a natural thing, you know. But that's what I'd do. I'd just go out and I'd hammer it, and every single day that I went out to look for a job, I would find one because I just wouldn't stop.
Because it's driven, isn't it?
Yeah.
You be the most competitive person in that room, you're always going to win.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it.
One thing I want to touch on, because obviously you're wearing an On the Tools t-shirt, like.
Yeah.
I always go on about people moaning a bit about talking about social media, but one thing that I found this business is just how much it turbocharges. So obviously you're knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Like, would you say as well, since you put yourself out on I don't know how long you've been on social.
About a year.
Like, would you say that
a bit over a year.
The difference by putting yourself on there to like even working alongside people like tools, it's just.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm working with people now that I'm literally sometimes I'm stood there thinking, you're like an actual famous person, and I'm literally an idiot. As like in my head, I'm just an idiot that's still blagging it.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah, all the time, man. I do stuff and I go to places like, you know, CT1. I love CT1. They've done, you know, I love Nicola. They've done so much for me, but like they put me up in a hotel, and I'm like, what? Why? But I'm just a fool. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm tricking
around in a
them.
limo.
Can we find out what goes on in the Hummer?
No, we can't
Oh,
say.
mate.
We can't say, can we?
No, what goes on in the Hummer stays in the Hummer.
I'm not privy to the Hummer.
I'll
I'll
find
tell
it.
you what, I'll be honest with you, nothing. We just get absolutely.
Do you know what does go on there? You get Simon
Simon
Bowler with his earplugs.
Yeah,
Shoves
mate,
his
he's
earplugs
got
in.
time for it. He hasn't.
Does he put his earplugs
I
in?
love
Honestly,
Simon.
I got in there at his solo show. First ever time in the Hummer. Everyone knew, Mark's first time, we can't wait. We got in there, walked past Bowler, he's gone, all right, mate, pass me his champagne. Madden's pouring the champagne. Davis is off his nut, going mental here.
Yeah.
Look round, Simon Bowler's got them spongy.
Yeah. He had them in this time.
Rolling them like this, rolling up to get a point, and he just pushes them in his ear and just sits back like that. And the music's fucking going on. Bowler's just sat there.
He loves it, mate. He's like the dad of the family as well. Like he's always making sure everyone's all right. I've got so much time for him. Like he's a proper, genuinely honest, nice bloke. He is.
guy.
I really like Simon. In fact, I like all of them.
Yeah, the
and
whole
his- and his
CT1
work-
crew
and his
is
work's good.
mega.
Oh, mate, his work is second to none. Like he is phenomenal at what he does. Like I'm a good decorator. Some would argue I'm the second best decorator in the country. But I'm a good decorator, but compared to people like him and compared to people like Paint Warrior, I'm a fucking scrub lad, I am. Like, I look at their work and I'm just like, I don't even want to do that.
How long
good. That's so
how long's
good.
Kev been doing his bits for? He's been doing it a long time.
I don't know. I don't know if he's been doing it either the same length as time as me.
Socials is.
Oh, he's been doing it a lot longer than me. Yeah. I think he's been going about 4 years. What did he say something the other day about? Because I sort of saw a post saying that his YouTube channel had got like the play button or something. Yeah. And he said that he started it about 4 years ago and stuff. So I'm fairly new to it, really. I mean, I think it's just over a year now since I put my first video out. But mate, nothing's happened since like the last 6 months. Like the last 6 months has just been this explosion. The first 6 months was just nothing.
Was there anything? Was there a certain video or reel or whatever you put out that blew?
No.
It's just constantly gone.
You have to be
on
consistent.
some people's pages. You can see this video that's got like 100 million views, and then you look at their followers, you're like, it checks out.
Yeah.
That's why, you know. But mine, I've got ones that have got like 5 million, 6 million, 6 million, 5 million, but they're consistent. Like if you go back through my catalogue, it's like,
I mean, that's the thing.
10 videos that do 100k, and then there's a million views. You know, there's no big explosion video. I don't think social media companies are doing that anymore. I don't think they're letting people just garner these huge amounts of views anymore.
But
like they were
I
doing.
still think that people don't understand, like 5 million views, and this isn't taking anything away from painting and decorating. Like if you'd have said to me 10 years ago, that people who, you know, like the what was his name, the Sam Draycott, Farrier.
Yeah.
So he's doing horse.
Oh, yeah,
shoes.
Yeah. Number one
And he was-
TikToker.
Yeah, number one TikToker.
But I love watching them as well.
Yeah.
But
I
it's just-
love watching those
but
videos.
that is like.
So satisfying, especially if he takes a nail out of the shoe, and you know, this is gross.
But he's.
You know when like the pus comes out, and you're like, oh, thank God he got that out. Like, poor horse.
I bet you
I'm
like watching the
oh.
ones where they're squeezing blackheads out of people's. I can't watch
Only
them.
some of them.
Does
Dr.
me.
Pimple Popper.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't
only
do
some
it.
of them.
Can't do it.
I like the ones where they get like and then this
The
big
boil.
blob comes out. No, I like the hard blobs. I don't like the
squirt.
The ones that are like
I don't
worms that
squirt.
come
That's-
out.
That's gross. I like it when it's like a big hard knob and then it lives like it leaves like a really satisfying hole.
That is,
No, I like
that
those
is the
ones.
best TikTok edit because he's like, I like, you know, the ones with the little blobs. I don't like the hard knobs. If you don't edit that, you know, the ones like that. And the hard knobs.
Where's his camera? His handsome bloke, look. He is your young Jamie. Can I ask you to Google stuff for me? If I can I say, look that up.
Look that up, yeah.
Are you wasting time? I think that some of you probably are, and I have a solution for you. Nobody wants to do any type of admin. Now, I have a solution for you, and it is called Tradify. It's a fully automated job scheduling, invoicing, and quoting all in one place. Now, that software is going to save you 12 hours a week, and all by using a simple software solution. Now, you can try it for 2 weeks, absolutely free, no cards needed, and you'll even get support in person from Tradify themselves. Now, when you're done, you can always come back to me and thank me, but just enjoy the extra 12 hours that you're going to gain from just using the software. So you've decided to go out on your own. How old are you at this point?
I think I'm...
Child's born?
No. So this is like, I got started early. I was like, I'm going straight out and getting cracked on. I think...
How many kids you got now?
2.
2.
And
so you went hard and then thought,
yeah,
I'm done.
I'm going to run.
Easy, Tiger.
hey, calm down.
Might have the hat, but that's it.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was no real milestones until sort of like 23. And that's when I started like earning money from it. That was when I started doing big contracts and stuff and started working with councils and got certificates and stuff.
How does that stuff come about for anybody that's listening and watching? Because if they're thinking, how do I get that business?
Do you know what? I'm sure there's an easier way into it. Like I'm sure there's maybe you can go on an online website and start procuring. I know that you can bid on jobs on the internet, and I know there's like a procurement site you can bid on tenders for big jobs and stuff. But mine is literally just through meeting people. So I would go to schools and I'd find the receptionist's email address online and I would contact them. And I've always worked directly for a school or for a company that works for the school. I've never like gone through the traditional routes to get there, because also like someone's always skimming money off the top as well. Like if you're going to a company that tends to a school that then tends the contracts out
to put their mark.
Someone's getting rich off that.
Yeah, and you're just taking what's left. I don't think that's fair. So I always work direct to consumer, but it's always been through customers. What I could say, if I was going to give some advice to anybody who's like wanting to start out or get into a trade or do it themselves, my biggest piece of advice is be nice to every single person that you meet and every single person that you work for, because you do not know what might happen in the future and they might need you. I have got phone calls from people I haven't spoken to in 5 years and they say, "Hey up, Chris, how you doing? We worked together about 5 years ago. I've just become CEO of this company called TaskSpace, and we do school contracts." And that led on to work, a huge contract for me. And it was just some bloke who I just worked for before, and we just knew each other. And even your bad customers, like even the ones that are pains in the arse, sometimes they turn into your best customers. Because if they're a pain and they cause an issue and you fix it for them, they'll be much more loyal than someone you never had a problem with. So if you have an issue, it's not about what goes wrong, it's about what you do about it when it does go wrong. And people remember that because they go, I know if I go with Chris, no matter what happens, no matter how it goes wrong, he will put it right. And that is much more valuable to people than just a guy that never makes a mistake. Because things happen. Yeah. Sooner or later, you're going to make a mistake. And I think that's what separates like really good customers from just sort of average ones, in my opinion.
So have you got blokes working for you at this point?
Not at the moment, no.
Have you ever had?
Yeah. I had 13 decorators at one point.
And how did you find managing that? It was stressful.
You know, mate, it was like...
I'm going back to chefing.
It's like you know, when you have a flashback and you're just like, I've got PTSD from that.
Really?
That time of my life.
Is that to do with the getting sued here?
No. That's a completely different thing. Like, actually, funnily enough, that was just on a job that I just did. And there was a problem. And it was not really anything. It was out of my control. So if you want to touch on that, I got sued for £100,000.
There's the thumbnail.
There you go. But it was actually only, they ended up getting, I think, £97,000. And it's through my insurance as well. Like, it killed me, mate. I ended up paying an extra £9 a year on my insurance.
Scumbags, mate.
Honestly, when I got that bill through, I thought, oh, God, it's £9 a year. Yeah.
So, tell us how this all come about then.
So I sprayed this staircase black. And it was in this big house. And I said to the customer, we need every single door shut. There can't be, we need to seal everything off. And we sealed everything off. And I'd sprayed this staircase in complete gloss black. And my brush hand, whatever you want to call it, he's no longer with us. He was in a car accident and he died while this was all going on as well. So it was like I'm having to defend this person that's not here to defend himself. He had been upstairs and he had opened the doors to do the insides of the frames, and I didn't know that he'd gone up there and done that. So we left. Everything was great. I went to Legoland at the weekend, and then I get a phone call on the Saturday. Chris, I think you need to come round. And I was like, what's going on? And they started sending me photos. Everything in the house, everything that wasn't in that locked off room was just covered in this fine silt of black gloss. It destroyed everything. Carpets, beds, clothes, lights. Every single thing in the house was just destroyed from this black gloss. And obviously they went through the appropriate channels. I said, look, this is my insurance. We'll get it sorted. Started off with suing me for £37,000. Then it went up to £60,000. And then eventually it was £97,000. Funnily enough, they were lawyers.
Of course.
So I was fucked. I was fucked. There was no way.
She wanted a new wardrobe.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it, like, if it was me, get your money. Like, you know, it's not my money; it's insurance's money. Like, go, fill your boots, get what you can. But obviously, I felt like it was an attack on me and like my professionalism and stuff. It was just a mistake. Like, it just happened.
So what had caused that then? So what?
He'd left the door open.
Yeah, the door.
So it's completely open.
No, it wasn't even completely open. It just opened it a crack to go, because he was doing the frames.
And that's then sucked in around everywhere.
Yeah. And mate, the gun that I was using, it atomizes the paint.
I've seen those guns used before,
It's HLVP. It stays in the air for
So that would just be tracking its way round.
And just tracking its way through the house. Shit happens. It's one of them. It's devastating. I think as well, because I'd always like really took pride in my work, and I never ever got complaints. Like, I don't have bad reviews because every time something goes wrong, I always fix it.
He's getting a 1-star from that first one.
And it ruined his day.
It fucking did. And my missus fuming about it as well. She was like, "Why are you letting that affect you?" I was like, "You don't know what's going on in my world right now." But yeah, it was bad, and I just felt awful because I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It was a problem that I couldn't fix, and I tried as well. I went round the house with cleaning products, tried to clean it.
It was just everywhere.
Black gloss.
Yeah.
It was done for, and then the whole process took about 2 years.
So you had that hanging around your neck.
Emails all the time, and emails from their lawyers, and then they start like threatening like
your business,
me personally and stuff, and I was like, mate, you can sue me. Half of fuck all is still fuck all, and I've got fuck all, so you can't take anything more than that. At that time, I had basically my van, a bit of money put aside, and that was it really. So yeah, it's just one of them. It's a tragic story, but I learned a lot from it. I learned how the legal system worked. I learned the routes that you got to take and the proper way to do stuff, and yeah, I learned a lesson on directing people.
How old were you when that happened?
That was early. I think I was 25. There's a lot to deal with.
I mean, the thing is, like, I get the mistakes happen, but when you're a young guy trying to do your own thing, kids, was it 1 or 2 at this point?
Just one.
One. Like, people have got a family at home. Like, I get mistakes happen. Like, if somebody's like deliberate, you just know
it wasn't
deliberate.
Yeah.
And that would have been a tough 2 years then, with that hanging over your head as well as trying to carry on running your business.
And also as well, I took it like very personally as well. Like, I was like, fucking hell, and this whole imposter syndrome thing comes in. At that point, I've got my tickets and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
But even still, I was just like,
Well, that's why people wonder why people in construction are higher suicide rates and mental illness and stuff.
mate, I 100%. I could have topped myself at that time if it wasn't for the fact that I had a child and that I had to be around for them at that time of my life. Yeah, especially as the way people word emails when they're trying to get a case through.
Yeah.
They're very
but you know as well,
nasty.
anything that you reply or you put back is going to be used.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Any conversation, you can't phone them. Everything has to be over email, and it's just a bit.
And 2 years as well, like.
Oh yeah, it was crushing. Yeah, when I got that thing through to say that they got their payout, I was like, oh,
massive relief.
Yeah, because now I just know it's over. I'm also left in this world where I don't really know what's going on with it. Like, I'm not dealing with it. My insurance and the lawyers are dealing with it. I don't really have any control over it. So, yeah, I was a little bit like, oh, I don't know. But, yeah, I was so relieved when it was all done. And now, if something like that happened again, I wouldn't even fucking bat an eyelid because I'd just go, oh, I know what we do now.
It's £9
There's
a month.
my insurance. There's your money.
And there's
It's
some
fine.
vanish.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off. At that point, I never had that attitude. I wanted to please the customer. I was still trying to be like, I'm so sorry about what's happened.
But when you're young and you're running a business and you're trying to establish yourself, you will be like that because, like you said, you take pride in your work. If you didn't, you'd be like, whatever. Yeah. It's true.
But then also you've got, during that time, you touched on it a little bit, the guy that you was working with died during. So that's
mate.
That's a screw being turned on it as well.
I had that young man from the age of 15, and he worked with me for 5 solid years, and then he died in a car accident. I literally got a call one morning, and he was just gone.
Yeah.
I can't talk about that moment. I don't want to come on here and just start bubbling because that will make me cry. That was horrible, mate. That was, but yeah, let's talk about something a bit more.
But you've come out the end of it.
Yeah.
And where did we go after that then? So that was all done, dusted.
Yeah, so that after that, I pivoted into like really getting into big contracts and stuff. So I started doing big school contracts over the summer.
Were you doing mainly domestic up until that?
Oh, mate, by that point, after that happened.
Did it put you off? So
No, completely the opposite. Like when that was all going on, I was like, right, because I'm thinking I've got to pay for this bill. So I was like,
oh, you thinking that's going to drop on your doorstep?
Yeah. So I'm like, right, let's earn some money. So I was like, day in, day out, Monday to Friday, every weekend, every hour that God sent, I was working. And during the summer, I would do exteriors, and I'd do it with spray machines. So I'd do the exterior of a house one a week for the whole summer season. And then we started doing schools in the summer as well, because obviously when the kids are off at the same time, you can get in there and smash it out. But yeah, like that for me was the sort of turning point where I was like, right, I'm gonna fucking do this, like earn lots of money. I did. I earned a lot of money in that period. It's only recently with the whole social media thing starting that I thought, fucking, I don't need all this because I'm only spending it anyway. I work my fucking bollocks off. I get all this money, and I won't say any numbers, but like if you own your own decorating business, you can make like serious money if you're serious about it. You can make some real good money. But then I didn't have time to spend it. So in the small time, the little windows that I had to spend it, I'd go fucking mad. I'd be like, we're going on holiday now. I'll just like book a flight.
Legoland again.
Legoland. And we're like, every weekend we got those Merlin passes. So
it was Legoland.
Every single weekend we go Alton Towers,
Warwick Castle.
Like, every weekend we'd be at a
Doing
thing
something.
spending 500 quid.
Thorpe Park, yeah, living the dream.
And that went on for about 5 years. Like that was my life, just going, wasting money like it was going out of fashion, just because I felt like I wasn't there enough for my kids because I was working too much. So the time that I got to spend with them,
you go mental.
I'd go mental.
Yeah.
But I should have been like, no, you don't have to work as hard. You can just earn, like, that's enough money. That's more than enough money. Like most people, that's their household income. You can live on that and still have a few holidays a year and still be comfortable and have a nice car. Like you don't need to be rich.
Yeah.
because I don't think you can get rich when you work a manual job like that without killing yourself.
Unless you take on
a load of guys.
Unless you turn into a conglomerate.
Headache,
and you will know as better than anybody, going from a one-man band to a small team, piece of piss. But going from a small team to a company, that may as well be impossible.
I would say it's more difficult to do it in trades than what I've done here. And purely for the fact of, again, and I'm not sort of generalising a lot of trades, but a lot of people don't turn up in the morning.
Yeah.
You can't get them out of bed. They're on the packet completely on the Friday night, and then they blast all their money on until the Monday. And it's the hardest bit of any business is people. And in trades, you are so reliant on somebody just getting out of bed and turning up. And if you've got
building a team is
15
really
people,
difficult,
and you've got 3 of them don't roll in on a Monday, and you've got all that work planned.
Yeah, because you're planning to a team, deadlines, days.
And then with COVID, no materials and stuff like that.
And you're getting people to graft as well. You're not getting people to come in. Shall we have a cup of tea before we start? Yeah,
then we have a shit in a bucket.
Shit in a bucket. I haven't told that yet. I'll get to that in a minute. My latest story.
That'll be like a thing on Insta.
Oh God,
people
that's
checking in your buckets. Yeah.
Oh no, maybe I've given my game away now. I can't ever do that again now if I get caught short. But yeah, you're employing people to graft, aren't you? They're not just turning up to an office and let's have a cup of tea, give it 5. Let's have a team meeting. Then you all fucking waffle for 20 minutes about bollocks.
Is that what goes on in these offices?
Does it like
more so since we've been bought?
Yeah. That's why. But that's why
we never had meetings before, did we? I just because the thing. My mantra is I hire people.
Yeah.
To do the job.
Yeah.
I don't hire you to tell you how to do the job. I hire you because
you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. And I see that, but that's just when you're in the trade, or when you own your own business, you see that. Like I walk into an office and I'm like, well, you're doing fuck all, you're doing fuck all, and him over there, he fucking ain't even turned up yet, he's still asleep. But in an office environment, that's normal, isn't it? Like that's just like, oh yeah, we're all just because we're getting paid on the hour, and fucking turn up.
Whereas the building's different.
If I pay someone fucking £180 a day or £200 a day to be a decorator, I want £200 worth of work minimum. I should be getting £600 because your lad should always be earning 3 times more what you pay them to make up for the times that they don't come in, the materials, their petrol, all those things that you incur. They have to earn that money when they're there. But in an office, it's like, there's a budget for that.
We'll have a meeting about that.
Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, I shat in a bucket once and it was fucking gross. Let me tell you about it.
Before we get into bucket shit,
he needs a piss.
I'm going for a piss.
Oh, really?
Give me 2 minutes. Ladies and gents, just a quick one to say a huge thank you to our new headline sponsor, CT1, the best sealants on the market, voted for by the British public. Not only that, it's made in Britain as well. So go and support a product and a brand that is made in the UK. But I just want to say to you, they've got a brand new product out, which is the BT1. It's a combination sealant and adhesive like the popular CT1, but it's perfect for keeping a hygienic environment. And it's designed to completely stop the growth of bacteria, microbes, and fungus. And not only that, this stuff is strong. Now, it's going to be available at Travis Perkins, Wickes, Jewson's, and pretty much everywhere else, so there's no excuse not to go and give it a go. So we're really happy to be partnering with CT1.
But yeah,
so anyway, are we going back to this?
Okay, you want to get your way the bucket shit story? It's fucking so embarrassing, though, isn't it? Now I'm realising it's being filmed.
So it's just to put it into perspective, we'll just have had Al do the CT1 ad. Buy CT1, this, that, and the other. So then we can go straight into shitting in buckets.
In a BW1.
Yeah.
Tanking systems.
Yeah. How to shit in a bucket. Yeah, so the most embarrassing time
He's going to be opening his tub of BW1 going...
Yeah, like fishing around with a stick.
Foxy!
You'd know if you'd been in, mate.
What the fucking hell is that in the bottom of that?
Fucking Fox has done a shit in his bucket.
Sweet corn.
Cigar. I was working for this customer and I'd shat in a bucket. I'd got caught short and I was at a unit, like on an industrial park, so there's no toilets or anything. And I took a shit in this bucket and I didn't even have a lid, so I just put it in the back of my van off. like woman driving home, I just fucking out the window.
As if it was rolling around in the back of the
Mate,
In glass.
right, so
Taking it in glass.
I've got this fucking bucket shit in the back of the van. God, this is rank, this. I come out of the building about 5 hours later after I finished working, and the customer's daughter meets me. I'm talking to her, and as I'm chatting, I've forgotten that the shit bucket's in there. And I'm chatting to her, I'm like, yeah, well, we'll finish in there. Maybe need another coat on it tomorrow, but it's yours. And as I say that, I open the door, and this waft of hot shit just hits me in the fucking face. And I'm like, whoa, fucking shut the door. And she's like, you all right? I went, yeah. And I'm like, please don't fucking smell it. And it stinks as well. It's been in a hot car for 5 hours.
She got it?
Just marinating. I don't know if she did, and if she did, she was too polite to say.
Covered it up.
But it fucking... And I'm mid-sentence, I was like, whoa, like that. Like, it fucking... You know when you get off the plane
Haze.
in Spain? You know when they open the door and you go, whoa, like that. It was like that. This stench of hot shit, and I went, bang, like that. Instantly went
Eyes
red.
watering.
Yeah, eyes watering. And then I'm trying to play it off, just like, no, I'll be there tomorrow, like that. She gets in her car, I get into my fucking shit van, and it fucking stinks. I'm like, drive off, and I'm like, reach me out, trying to get this fucking bucket out.
When he locks it out and it sucks back in. You remember when you flick a fag out?
It was fucking gross, mate. And then my van stunk as shit for weeks as well. I would be like, I'll park down the road. I'll walk to you just in case anybody came and
give me a
smell my
lift?
shit van. No. There's too much stuff in there. Yeah, that was bad, man. So embarrassing.
So you know when you hoid it out the window, did it go straight out?
I got it, but
That's
I
hit
handled,
the
and I
car
sort
bit
of
on.
like swirled, lean up, centrifugal force.
Slingshot.
I used centrifugal force. I learned that from science.
And whipped it out.
And then yucked out the window like that. You should never litter, but if you're going to litter, that's when you should litter.
That's acceptable.
Yeah, I think so.
And now he's on the BBC. Big bloody crap.
No, he's not. Shh, can't say that.
Yeah.
He's on the Beeb.
So I'm actually quite interested in how you got into business. Because I think you're quite a fascinating fella.
I've
I know I'm not supposed to
always said that I
interview
want
him.
him to be
Is
sat
he
there.
trying to detract from the third gate?
I'm moving swiftly on. I actually do think you're a very interesting fella. I said that to Brad and the boys at Home Improvements when I met you. I was like, there's a lot to that fella.
Man of mystery.
Yeah. How did you get into, how did Unilight start?
So Unilight started, it was actually my mum and dad.
Was it really?
That started the business. But parents got divorced, got very messy. Dad moved to
My
Australia.
parents got divorced as well. How old were you?
8.
I was 6.
I was 8 when my...
Were you really?
Yeah.
Oh,
when
we
my
were
parents... Yeah, we were divorcees, aren't we?
Divorcees?
So
Yeah, I was 6
Who
years
did you
old.
live with? Mum or dad?
Mum.
Mum.
Dad.
Really?
So it was late 80s, and my old man had to fight
you know
tooth and nail
what?
to get me and my
He's
sister.
got that sort. We're fucking mummies boys, aren't we?
I'm probably...
He's got that gristly. I grew up with my fucking
old
dad.
man.
Yeah.
My old man kept
he
me in
actually
line.
has as well, hasn't he?
I've probably because both my parents sort of I got passed around, and then my
Yeah. I
my-
mean, I saw my dad as much as I could, but it was like
and then I ended up living with my dad because my
weekly.
stepdad used to slap me about, and then I fell out with my dad and ended up living on my own from 16.
I had completely the opposite. My stepdad was a saint, really. Like he was just completely the opposite to my dad. Like my mum could not have pivoted more to a different person. He's a really nice bloke, but yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Just you actually don't realise how much it impacts you until you get older and you look back, especially when you got your own kids and you go,
Yeah.
fucking hell, that's why I did that.
It's like I've never really had a bond with my mum. My old man passed away, ironically, 21 years ago yesterday. I've never had a bond with my mum. I think because I grew up with my dad. My dad would never, ever, when it was my mum's birthday, my dad would give me money to go and buy your mum a card, get her some flowers, she's your mum, this, that, and the other. But I never built that bond up. I could walk past my mum in the street and it would be, all right. That'd be it.
Really?
It's just never been a thing. And I don't really know where it stems from. I think I was very much, with my old man all the time, but he would always say, go and spend time with your mum. I just didn't want to, because I think she was the one that went off and done whatever. And I think that sort of stuck in my head a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that molds you into the person that you are years and years later. And so many people say to me, "You're so much like your old man,"
Yeah.
which is kind of nice.
This cowboy hat seems silly now.
I feel like
Having a heart to heart, and I'm sat here with a fucking cowboy hat.
I feel like I'm on Jez's Late and Live.
Will,
We're bringing in Mark's mum. Here's Mark's mum.
do declare.
He's going to be like Jeremy Carr.
Yeah.
Enters Mark's mum.
We've got all these highs and lows during this
Do you know
one.
what it was?
Shitting in
It's 'cause
buckets.
he almost cried. He's like, right.
Yeah,
okay.
he's turning it round. I nearly
I'm having
had
you
it.
now. That's it.
Do you know what I'd have done if I was here sat on my own and Jack knows what I'd have done? You know what I'd have done? I'd have just sat there then like that and waited for you to go any further with it. But we won't talk about
No,
that.
that's so people. That's a good interviewing technique. That is.
Yeah, silence.
There's another one that, and then, like when you say to somebody, and
Oh,
then,
okay.
and then, like to keep them going. But yeah, that staring at people.
yeah, if you
you
would
just
have
wait
got to
for
that
them.
point, like
Yeah,
we did,
yeah.
I would have just gone,
Stephen Bartlett on me.
yeah, Stephen Bartlett, Jack.
Stephen Bartlett on me. You think I haven't got your number, my shop?
You got me sus, mate. You got me sus.
But it does work, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Even when you're chatting to your mates, because when you're chatting to your mates, especially if you're having like a bit of a fucking art talk, nobody wants to like actually open up today. But if you just pause and let them have that thought,
Yeah.
it's amazing what people will come out with and open up about.
It's like a vulnerability moment.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, of course it is. Because you're like, I've got to fill. You can't, like, there can't be a break in the conversation. I've always been very comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Which is why I've not struggled with the, like,
I think that's quite a
going
good
on
trait.
camera and acting like a fucking twat and making myself look like an idiot. That sort of stuff stopped bothering me.
Yeah.
But yeah, being in silence for people is difficult, isn't it?
And just waiting for them to.
That's why he flipped reverse it back on me. He was like,
yeah.
"There we go."
Put the thing down, flip it, reverse it.
But anyway, his old man started. You know the Thomas the Tank Engine lights. In fact,
Go on.
carry on, Phil.
So, I'm going to Phil. What's your favourite colour?
Black.
Oh, thank God, he's back. He's
You're
back.
the sim one. Remember them bad boys?
Is that? Did your dad give you this when he left? Is that what it's for?
No,
Please don't tell me that's what
So,
it is.
so the story behind that was I was probably
Oh, it doesn't work.
4 or 5 years old, and the old man came home and he drew a face.
Is this going to make me cry?
He drew a face on the light.
Because if this could make me cry
He drew
from
a-
what this is and how
Silence.
nostalgic it
Remember
is.
our silence.
He drew a face on the light, and he kept going like that forward and backward against the wall, and it kept getting bigger. And I went, "Whoa, Thomas!" Because I was only about 4 years old, and my dad was like, "Right." So then he went off because at this time there was no like doing it on the computer or whatever. He went to a graphic designer that drew everything by hand and got him to draw the face of Thomas the Tank. And then he went and drew over the top of it with tracing paper and put it onto the front, and then brought the finished one home and showed me that, and that's how that idea got born.
Well, hang on. Your dad made these. This was made by your dad.
Do you know how many of them he sold?
I would have imagined thousands.
A million.
A million.
A million of them.
Thomas the
In
Tank
to-
was
in
big
total
news,
over.
wasn't it?
That's when when Thomas the Tank Engine was peak, and he was making these. So all of this. So you see all the drawing on the side. That's all hand drawn. So this guy called Keith that he used to work with drew all that, hand drew it, face, everything else, like all the batteries, everything that came with it. The packaging was all hand drawn, and then he negotiated with the woman that owned the rights to Thomas the Tank.
Yeah.
And then ended up selling.
That was
these
going to be
to-
my next question.
to
Was
art-
this
copyright infringement.
Was this copyright infringement?
No, well, Argos, Woolworths. You
Wow.
remember
Yeah, I
Woolworths?
bet they did. Yeah, that's a great idea.
And he was literally getting containers full of them. He'd open them up, go, "Yeah, it looks right," and then sending them straight off because they were that popular.
Yeah, I bet they were.
Is that what kicked off? Did you like fly off the back of
so,
that?
So basically, that is what sort of kicked the business off, and then the business sort of the only thing that the old man didn't do was then sort of like double down on stuff like that, like going, right, okay, well, we'll just do. That's what we're going to do. He sort of tried to do a bit of everything, which when you've never run a business before, and until I was doing this, and never appreciated like just how difficult it is to spot something like that. And he started then doing stuff to do with industrial and stuff like that, but then still doing retail. And I came to realise very quickly when I worked here is you can't do both.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to
Pick a lane.
you have to be an expert in one thing.
Yeah.
And the only good thing for us is we created the brand, like me and the Sis, to become more of a lifestyle thing. So actually, when we started doing jackets, jumpers, whatever it was. People wanted to wear it because they loved the brand.
Yeah.
So you make the brand first, and then everything else sort of
Build it, and they will come.
Whereas the old man, he'd do like a torch in blue, he'd have one in green, and there was no signature colours.
I think that's when you first start out though. It's good to like do lots of different stuff because then you get the opportunity to see what works. It's the same with social media. Like on my page, if you just go back ever so slightly, you'll see me doing all sorts of fucking things.
Waiting to see what hits.
Yeah, like there's tutorial videos, there's silly videos, there's videos that got nothing to do with decorating. And the ones that hit, I always make a note of that on,
the ones
on my
I
laptop.
remember is you doing like scaffolders.
Oh yeah, that was the high vis video, mate. I think that's got 20 million views
Mental.
across socials. The first time I posted it,
Because I think it was the scaffolders when you scrunched it
yeah,
up like a
tied
boob
it up
tube
there
or
and
something.
wore it as a boob tube. I still get messages about that now. In fact, I needed a scaffolder for next month, and if there's any scaffolders in the Peterborough area and you want to do a collab, all I need is just one platform on the back of a house. I'll collab you on Instagram. Like, well, let's make friends. Let's do some stuff together. But because of that scaffolders thing, I put a post out the other day saying if there's any scaffolders in the Peterborough area, let me know because I need some scaffolding. Mate, the amount of messages I got saying, yeah, like we're gonna fucking help you after you slagged us off, you fucking prick.
Throw us under the bus.
Oh, I earned that, but come on, I did it because I know you lads can take it because you've got banter. It's all the other trades that can't take it. It wasn't really. It's just
grovelling.
Fuck them.
I just need a scaffold.
Yeah.
So how did you get into work with On The Tools then? Because obviously massive personality, and then On The Tools, I think everyone in the trade and industry knows On The Tools. So how did that come about then?
So initially, there's a guy that works there called John, and he approached me and basically said, we really like your videos. I think I was only on like 40,000 followers on TikTok or something at this point, and he messaged me saying, we really like your videos. If we could post them on our page, we'll give you an ad revenue share, and sent me this thing to sign and stuff. And I just said, I'm not really interested in anything like that, mate. I'm not doing it to earn money or anything. And we didn't speak for a couple of months. And then I think he offered me like a brand deal that was like sort of nothing to do with, well, it was to do with On The Tools, but it wasn't like a contract that I had to bind into. It's just like this, if you want to, we really want to work with you. How about we offer you like ad hoc work? You work with the brand, we'll facilitate it, and then you're not tied into anything. So I started doing those brand deals, and obviously, I was a big cheese around the office. People were talking and going, "We really fucking like this guy." That must have been happening in the background. And then eventually, I'm missing loads of steps here. This went on for a long time.
What, just doing little ad hoc bits with
brand
them?
deals, yeah. And sometimes they'd send me some original content ideas that they want to do, and then they'd pay me to
so
do that.
So they'd say,
video.
we've got this idea.
Yeah.
Can you
do it?
Can you do something around it?
We'll pay, yeah. And then I think I went to the On The Tools Awards.
Got smashed.
Got absolutely hammered. After that, I'm surprised they spoke to me.
Have you not been to one of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
this
mate.
year, innit?
Yeah, come to this one this year. It's mint.
Did they have the ice
Absolutely
sculptures
mint.
as well with the vodka on it?
Yeah, it's so extravagant. I mean, that company, the way it's turned from just a Facebook group into this huge thing that, no matter what anybody says, is genuinely helping real tradespeople. Like
Nice people as well.
yeah,
really.
Sam, they're like a family. I love them to pieces. I love everybody that works there. But like they are connecting tradespeople with brands who otherwise they would have no way of getting in contact with, because brands do not just call up Frank who works for BT Plumbing and go,
I do.
Like, yeah, of course, but like these big companies and stuff, they just don't act because they can't.
They use a lot of marketing.
Well, they can't deal with tradespeople because they don't know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So On The Tools is like the go-between those two worlds. Like, I don't know how to communicate with Dulux. I'd ring the head of Dulux, like, nah, then mate, I ain't doing it.
You know that guy that shit in the your pockets are the best for shitting.
Yeah. So all they do, like they have, for me personally, they've helped me navigate that world. And without them, I wouldn't have gone on to do what I've done so far.
That's another thing actually with social media is I find that people that have navigated that already, they don't really tell other people how to do it.
So,
somebody like you where you've gone, right, okay, I've gone from there to there and now I've got brands asking me to do stuff. You do need something.
I get messages daily about stuff like that. And I always point, as best as I can, point people in the right direction. But it's tough because you're not talking to trades like, that the way that officers operate, the office at Dulux or the office at Brewers or the office at Screwfix or Juicens, the way they operate is not how a tradesman operates. And there's a certain level or an expectation of professionalism from those brands. And you just need someone to help you out with that.
Yeah, you need the middleman, don't you?
Yeah, for me, that was on the tools.
I mean, you've
really
done
good.
a little bit of that. I've done bits with various companies through you and Nathan and the Trade Legend side. It's just pairing people up, isn't it?
Even other people where, other influencers have come through to me and said, how much should I be charging for this video? And I'm like, that's what you like. Yeah. Other brands don't hate me for it because I'm like, well...
People don't know what they're worth as well.
Yeah. It's when you hear somebody goes, I've done a video. I was like, how much did you charge? And they're like, £100. And I'm like, well, how long did it take you? And it's like 2 days. And I'm like, well, how much do you get paid for your job for
Not
2
even
days?
minimum
I think
wage.
that's another thing for me as well. If somebody offered me £250 for a video, I'd go like, well, that's how much it would take. That's a day's work for me. The video's going to take me 2 hours? That's a bargain. But John, specifically on the tools, was like, no, mate, that maybe was what you should have been charging to start off with. But now you've got over 300,000 followers. You're worth more than that. And these companies, they don't care about you. They want the result.
They just want the eyes, don't they?
Yeah, they're not going to go, oh, Chris, being as you did such a good deal on that last video, we'll give you another one. They have a budget for it.
Yeah.
And if you're in that budget, you get the video. And if you're not, you don't. But you don't understand that if you don't. I get it now and I understand it now. But when I started there, they'd never had an ambassador before. And that sort of came out of nowhere. I think maybe Adam or Lee, the owners, were like, we'd really like someone to be our brand ambassador. And I think there was a lot of people potentially up for that. But then they picked me.
That's nice. If you was the original one, is it just still you?
Yeah, it's still just me.
Which is
and
a
they
nice
have
nod,
sort
isn't
of
it?
said, and it's not a big deal, but they have sort of said that they don't want another one now. That anybody that they pick now, they're gonna have to compare to me.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Yeah.
But because although I do put on this front I'm this super overconfident fucking prick that's so full of himself, I could not be further from what I really am. And I don't actually feel like I deserve to be where I am. So maybe I put on that front in order to sort of deal with the fact that I'm inside I'm going
overcompensating.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't feel like I am. But for them to say, multiple people within On the Tools have said to me, you can present, you can make funny videos, you know how to make good content, you know how to film. You're good with clients, you can go to shows, you can get on stage, all of that in one package. We're not going to find that in another person. So we're just not going to bother. Unless we can find someone that's really good at something specifically that we want, we're just going to use you. So
that's kind of nice, isn't it?
That was a good box check for me, because I think I thought again, I'm just fucking winging this shit.
What does the missus think to it all? Does she get it?
Very jealous, I think.
Really?
Bit jealous, yeah. Well, her world is
What does she do?
Dance.
Right. Instructor?
And drama. No, we've got dance school.
Wow, okay.
So I started a dance school in January.
Do you dance?
Well, if you pay me enough.
I'm waiting for, I'm just a bachelor.
Yeah, that's why I bought the hat.
So does she not do that within her sort of what
no,
she
not
does?
social media. I try and get them involved in that, but
Okay.
it's just...
So to her, what does she think to all of this then?
Just mad.
You're a decorator here and then you're hosting events here and there.
And then
But the thing is, I've always had I've always had a side project.
Yeah.
I've got my own product that I patented and invented, and like that sold. Like that was a thing that I did.
What was
and then
that?
I've done the paint shield. So spray shields for.
Yeah.
I invented that. Well, here in the UK. Here in the UK, I invented that, and I've got the patent for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you still own that?
Yeah. I can sort of pick it up and run with it whenever I want. So it's a design patent on the features and the way it works. It was patented in America, but nobody had a patent for it. I didn't even know that it existed, to be honest.
Right.
The reason I needed it was because I was doing exterior decorating, and I was using like bits of fucking cardboard and plastic to, do the trims and spray them. And I went to my dad one day and was like, Dad, I could really do with like a piece of aluminium to just fucking hold up, something with a bend in it. So he made me something, and I was in a decorating centre a couple of days later, and I was stood with it in my hand, and a guy behind me was like, what's that for? And I was like, I'll use it for spray. And he was like, can you get me one of them? Because that's fucking dead handy, that. So my dad made a few more, and then I just sold a few to my mates, and then I was like, I think
Some legs in it.
might have something here. Do you want to see it? Shall I show you it?
Go on then.
So I'll zoom in. Hang on, let me turn it sideways and zoom in. That's the Fox's Pro Shield. See that?
Sounds like a condom, that does.
But yeah,
PS1.
Fox Pro Shield.
and then there's the certificate of registration. UK
We believe you. There you go.
Just for the people that
Just
don't
for the
believe.
courts.
Just for the people copying it.
Actually, it's probably not
Just
good
for
idea
the
to show
shot.
that, is it? I don't think it's in
As a
focus.
serial
I'm
number.
just waiting for him to go just for China.
But yeah, I started selling them like from my house, and mate, that fucking process is a nightmare. Packaging them, bubble wrapping them, and then
Done all right
turning
out
up.
of it though. Didn't
I did. I mean, we made all of our money back,
Yeah.
and then I got it on Amazon. That's a fucking process in itself as well. That took 2 years to like get it to be able to be on Amazon. I thought it'd just be like eBay. It's not, is it? Like you've got to jump through hoops and hoops.
The funny thing that you say about that is it's not for me to get product on, but then people copying me in China
Yeah.
and selling dodgy knockoffs of mine.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
seem to pop up all the time. And then when you give them a cease and desist and say, look,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is my design right on the product, it costs me £500 to get solicited
Yeah.
to send the letter. And then all that happens is it starts another listing up.
Yeah.
And then
So you got to do it again.
You gotta do it again
it's
and
a
again.
fucking nightmare, mate. I didn't get, because you have to pay.
Fees as well. For
Yeah,
selling.
so to get your patent, I think it's about $3,500 to pay the lawyer to do it. I didn't. I represented myself on it.
Yeah.
And that was just another one of my hyper focuses. I was like, right,
Learned that in 8 hours.
patent law. So for literally like 2 weeks, every night I was like researching patent law so that I could fill out my own application. It's good. That is the good thing about having ADHD and being able to focus it into something. The trouble with it is, if you don't have something to focus it into, you know what I'm going to say. Like he will get that. Like you just do crazy stuff, like and go off the rails. If you've not got like a
purpose, yeah.
purpose, it's
So if
bad.
you've not got a goal or something to go at,
Drugs,
where does your mind
alcohol,
go? It just
fucking whatever, and just completely off the rails. Luckily, like in recent years, I've sort of got more of a handle on it, but.
Addictive personality.
Yeah, if I don't have a thing to focus on, wild things happen, baby. Like, I don't have any. I almost don't have any control over it. Like, it just, if my mind hasn't got something that it's like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I know what I'm going to do, and I've got a clear path to get to that thing, I can focus on that thing, and then I don't detract. But if I don't, and I'm just like,
so will you actively
fuck it,
find something
I'll have
else
wine
to do?
at 10 a.m.
Will you go right? I'm running out of that. I've nearly completed Spanish. I need to fucking find something else. to do.
Yeah. I have to like get a thing.
Right.
And it's like a trigger as well. And I think I've almost found the trigger now. The trigger, it's so fucking sad as well. Because it's so like if you really strip it back, it's so self-serving. Like if I see somebody doing something and getting praise for it, that's
want a
a
bit of
trigger for me to want to do that thing.
okay.
So recently it was chess.
It's the Olympics at the minute. He's
about
going to be
to go.
swimming, isn't he?
Yeah, fucking
Synchronised swimming on the tool sponsor video.
yeah, if I see somebody getting praise, I'm like, I want that fucking
So what was it?
praise.
Chess.
Yeah, chess, because I saw this chess champion on YouTube and they were talking about him like he's a prodigy, he's an incredible mind, and I was like, I want people to talk about me like that. Like the best thing for me would be to leave a room and people go,
He's shit at chess.
My God.
That boy
He
is
really is amazing.
bilingual chess champion.
That Foxy's a prodigy.
He really is fabulous, isn't he? That's like
That's what you want.
Honestly, that's so sad, but that is me being 100%
So
honest.
we can literally
I think
throw
deep
something
down,
into your
that's
psyche.
what I want.
We can
Mark,
throw something into your
Mark,
psyche.
you're so good at darts.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
You could, couldn't you?
100%,
You could.
It's not on the surface level. Like that's me stripping
You know
it
what?
back for you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
like that's what's beneath the surface.
I've just said to you, you're really good at darts. He's already on Amazon, totaling up how much it's going to cost him for a dartboard set.
Yeah.
To be like,
I've already got
180.
He's already completed
I've already
darts.
got one. Yeah, playing Luke Litter next week.
Yeah, seen him on the telly last year. I want a bit of that.
Yeah.
I wanna be
Imagine
stood at
that. He just bursts on the dart scene.
Can you imagine?
Just,
with that hat on.
Yeah. like that guy who's shot in the Olympics for Turkey. You see that?
Legend.
He
Hasn't got none of this
he
stuff,
just
has he?
turned up like, I got a silver medal.
he's just gone
Next.
to,
Yeah.
he's just gone to Specsavers and picked up his new specs. And was
What
like,
a legend!
Yeah,
for
I
that.
loved it. I loved it. You got the guy with the fold down that and
the
this.
other one,
Yeah.
and the other one on the pommel horse. You remember him?
Just
He
having a go.
literally stood because he's got really bad eyes or something at the pommel horse like that for 2 hours getting ready. Did you not see him?
No.
And he like honed.
I don't know if the live feed of that would have been very interesting.
honed it, no.
2 hours of pommel horse
No,
staring.
he was stood at the side for ages.
Right.
Like, not obviously like just touching, but like for ages, like prepping himself. And then he was like touching it like this. And then he just like gets on the pommel horse and like ended up getting silver or something. He was just
Completed it.
Absolutely smashed it.
boom, smashes it, yeah. The whole crowd went
that's
wild.
such an energetic event that you had to stand up to talk about it.
I thought he was going to get on it.
He's gonna fucking imagine he starts doing it like that. Either side of his legs. Like that.
Back
Just in the
flipped
middle.
out.
Like me and you just leaning back on the table.
Legs going out.
round. Yeah.
So what's on the horizon for it then? What have we got eyed up?
So-
golf completed it. Table
Yeah.
tennis done it.
I don't know what's well at the moment it's
What are, the
probably
wacky, what are
chess.
the wackiest things you've sorted yourself?
They're so fucking stupid, some of them.
Juggling.
I mean, dice stacking was an
Spanish-
obsession for
Spanish
ages.
dice
Yeah,
stacking.
like you get a cup, you get 5 dice,
And you have to go
go,
and get them to stack.
and they stack. And
Have you not
you
seen
can
that?
do it like that.
So there's a Chinese drinking game where they use dice.
So you put a dice in a cup.
There's
So you
5
you
dice
five
on
of
the
them,
table,
and you go like this,
Right.
and you go side to side,
you go like that.
and then you lift the lid off, and they're all stacked.
and they're all stood up. Yeah,
So that's the thing.
that's the thing.
I'm gonna try
Pen
that later.
spinning.
Plate spinning. Plate spinning. Done plate spinning.
I think So I'll be honest with you. I knocked a lot of them out before my puberty because I had a lot more fucking time on my hands. So all of your like basic stuff, juggling, yo-yoing, all of the like hobbies, they were gone before I even had a pube on my chest. Like,
I thought you were going to say somewhere else.
not on a podcast. It's a family show.
Shitting in a bucket.
Yeah, I've knocked all them out. I am saving golf because I know if I get into golf,
It's
I've seen
expensive.
what it does to other people, and I think,
Rory
fuck
McIlroy
me,
better
like,
watch out.
I'll get addicted to that.
Yeah.
If it does that to normal people, I'm gonna get like serious problems. So I'm gonna save that till I'm old, because then when I'm like really old, it won't matter, and I'll be like, yeah, fucking, you know,
All in one.
yeah.
So what's the weirdest? What's the most obscure one that you've?
Completed.
Apart
I mean,
from Spanish.
I think Spanish is pretty
Spanish,
weird.
yeah,
isn't
the
it?
Spanish is pretty
Spanish
cool, isn't
is
it?
pretty weird. The biggest difficulty in Spanish is like the describing word and the actual thing itself
It's the-
are swapped over.
It's the-
so you would
you do
say
Barcelona?
you've got a shirt that is white, whereas in English you go you got a white shirt.
Right, okay.
Which
switch it around.
actually-
It's a bit like Chinese like that.
It does it. It makes sense really because the most important thing is I'm saying that you've got a shirt. I'm then saying that it's white.
Yeah.
And it's at the front. It should sort of be that way, but in English we do it the opposite way around. But yeah, Mandarin, mate. There's loads of those. I think they're called. I don't know if they're called. I'm gonna fucking get. I'll have a go anyway.
There's
Who's gonna check?
Check
Vowel
next week, isn't it?
interjections.
Different provinces as well speak different styles.
Oh yeah,
of
there's
Chinese.
loads of different dialects. Dialects, yeah. That's the trouble with Spanish as well. Like you've got.
Barcelona.
You've got like Southern America Spanish, which is like yo tengo todo estudiar español, and then Spanish is like yo tengo todo estudiar español. It's so much faster. And in Spain, I'm like repetirlo la menta, which means repeat that very slowly.
Are you completely fluent in it?
No, not even close. No. Like I speak enough Spanish to speak to a Spanish person if they give me enough time to understand what they're saying back to me.
I was waiting for him to go, I know enough Spanish to say, can I have some chorizo?
Yeah. I can get by when I go to a Spanish speaking country and I can speak to a Spanish person, but going past anything but like general conversation.
Please give me cheese on that.
yeah. Don't you still mano? I need a toilet. If it's anything past like general conversation, then that's when I start to struggle. That's when I'll start asking them what that word means. So like somebody starts talking about a football player from a certain club or something like that, they'll throw in a word that I haven't heard before, and then the conversation is more about
that word,
the words that I'm then learning. I would love to spend some time there and like really
Foxy on tour.
Yeah, Foxy on tour. That's good, isn't it? Yeah. Pay for it, and I'll do it.
You get away with the shitting in a bucket there because you know when you get past the sewers,
the whole time. Foxy on tour.
Just
we'll vlog the whole thing. That'd be brilliant. Sponsored by Unilight. Did you see all those ads that I did for you?
Shite because he's shitting in a bucket.
Did you see all those unofficial ads that I did for you?
Did you?
Yeah, I did loads of little unofficial ads for you. In the Home Improvement Channel's YouTube video, I kept every time they were doing the scene, I was holding a Unilight thing like that.
Because they were always
kitted out of it. Yeah. And I was like, I want a bit of that Unilight money. Here you go.
Good guys, Brad and Phil.
Oh, mate, I love them to bits. They are like, they're in this sphere, in this world. They've been like brothers to me. They genuinely.
Brad is always, because obviously I started doing my own social. Brad would go, try this out.
Yeah.
Try that.
Yeah.
Like he always. Like,
He's not me, mate.
Didn't even ask him.
Well, I was with them Tuesday this week. I went and met up with them Tuesday, and they're building a timber frame room.
Yeah.
And I'm just there, and they're like, Mark, just get in here, and just put this together, and we just get you on the channel. They're just all encompassing. They get you in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They'll help you with anything. I always go, what do you think to this? Change that thumbnail, do this.
They don't gatekeep at all.
They want everyone to do well.
You know when people say they made the right person famous? Like those boys are like a perfect example of that. Like they are really genuinely, honestly nice people. And people say to me, they go, oh, do you know this person? Do you know this person? Honestly, I don't. I really don't know anybody in the influencer space because I won't have anything to do. I've already got my friends. I don't need more friends. I've got my friends. And I'll only like really get to know somebody if I believe that they are friends with me just because they like me. And not because they think that there might be some sort of business relationship that can grow from it or, you know, if it's a business, that's fine, it's a business. But I don't want business relationships with fucking influencers.
Yeah.
Because that for me is just like, that's weird. I don't want that relationship with people. I want it to be natural,
a proper
honest,
friendship.
Yeah. Like me, mate, I'll call Brad on a Friday night and we'll talk on the phone. We'll be on FaceTime for 3 hours, just chatting shit to each other, talking about video ideas, what he's doing, what he's getting up to.
I bet that phone call with you being the way you are and him being the way he is fucking wild.
We've both got ADHD.
It's fucking wild.
We drive Phil fucking mental because Phil has got ADHD, but not to Brad's not even level. On the fucking same level as me and Brad have. But when we're working on site and we've been in YouTube videos, Phil just spends most of the day going, fucking hell, we ain't getting anything done. You two won't stop fucking around. Because he'll kick off and it'll make me start fucking making noises and running around like a fucking big child. But yeah, there's always fun. It's always good.
But they're good guys.
Oh,
and I think you find decent people will work with decent people.
Yeah. I think you gravitate towards them, don't you? Yeah.
So should we do final thought?
God, what could be anything, couldn't it? Could be anything from him.
So what we normally do, we do a bit of a Jerry Springer thing. So you can either like give a bit of advice, you can wax lyrical about yourself.
Yeah, okay.
The floor is yours, basically.
You know, your
straight down the barrel.
Okay, so we'll call this section Foxy's Final Thought. So anybody that's wanting to get into the influencer space, or if you're interested in that world, just do it.
Ask Brad.
Nobody ever achieved anything by thinking about it too much. Just get involved, start your journey now, start tomorrow or today, and just start doing it, and you'll get there. Buy CT1 products, follow on the tools, and follow me, Foxy the Decorator.
Do you know what that was like when you were doing that? You know, like start today. It was like a fat loss advert. You know,
Yeah.
don't wait for tomorrow.
Oh, it was £427.
Just pay me £38 a month, and you could lose weight.
Foxy's fat loss tips.
Yeah, Foxy's fat loss. Yeah, there's like a stringer across the screen now, like 28.
And then there'll be someone at the end. All these things.
Yeah.
Come Tuesday.
Yeah, no fat loss guaranteed.
555 fat loss.
You may not lose any weight, but you will lose all your money.
yeah.
True, isn't it?
Money loss guaranteed.
So is there anything else, Jack?
Oh, we got him then. Sniggering he was behind the screen. Did you like that? Lol.
Lol.
You know when people write lol? I bet
Lol.
they haven't sat there. You know, like you'll
Lots
say.
of love.
Yeah,
no.
You haven't sat in your lounge and gone, ha.
Mate, I will write rolling on the floor laughing like this.
yeah.
Rolf.
Or a crying face. You're absolutely pissing saying that.
Dead. Oh my God.
You might have gone,
Like this. Bro, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the most they'll get. They'll get an exhale out of my nose.
yeah. And then the missus will go, what's the funny?
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
No, I get from my missus, what are you smiling at your phone for?
Oh, mate, me too. Like, what are you smiling at? Brad's just sent me something really funny.
No, you want to just be like, I've just said.
Foxy's just sent me this bucket he's shit in.
Yeah. Shit in a bucket.
But yeah, she looks at me as if to go, honestly.
I hate that, mate. I do.
But she's like, "What? Why are you smiling at your phone?" I was like, and then when you try to explain it to her, you go, "It's not really that."
Yeah,
funny,
no,
but
it's
it
never.
just got you in that
yeah,
moment.
it just got you. Yeah, it's hard. Also, as well, you've then got to explain to them
Foxy,
the dynamic of your relationship
Yeah.
because it doesn't just work on its own. Like,
Yeah, you don't get it.
I've got
it's
friends.
Just funny.
I've got friends that I'll text and they'll just message me back saying "fuck off" or something
But it's a
really
brilliant
unnecessarily
I
rude.
don't know what's happened to this. It's not fell apart.
That's all right.
All those batteries. You want to
They're not
start knocking
batteries.
them batteries out. Al.
That's
That's the vaping bit.
the cherry vape.
Do you think these vapes are going to be like in 20 years' time? Realise they are like the fucking devil.
Definitely. Yeah. They're worse than smoking.
Did you used to smoke
Yeah.
a lot?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. I used to
So
smoke
do you
quite a lot.
find like my missus vapes and she'll be sat watching Emmerdale vaping? I go, you wouldn't sit there.
Yeah.
Go outside and vape.
Yeah.
Fuck off, I ain't going outside to vape.
I think that's the difference. Is like you used to go and have a fag.
Yeah.
Now you just constantly.
Oh, so I
vaping.
think you're doing it more.
Yeah, way more. Way
It's
more.
so easy.
Yeah. It's too easy.
Fuck off outside with your vapes.
To be fair though, some of the flavours.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, but
good.
like we said earlier, you know when these kids
Can't
are
be
vaping
any
and there's
good
just
for
a
it,
fucking
Cloud.
massive
Yeah,
cloud.
that's gross.
Or you'll follow a car and it's like
Yeah.
Thomas the Tank Engine just piling out the window.
Yeah, it's fucking minging.
What is going on? Crazy.
Are we wrapping it up?
We done?
Wrapping it
Rap,
up, baby.
baby.